The first piece of my program is called The Creeping Burden of Doubt, and it's a duo for clarinet and oboe commissioned by Abraxas Reeds, whose members are Dr. Caitlin Neufeld, who's coming to us from Dallas, Texas, and Wesley Boehm, who's pursuing his doctorate at the University of Illinois in Urbana-Champaign. This is one of the very first pieces that I wrote in my doctoral program, and it's about some of the doubts that I was feeling following my doctoral application process. For those of you who don't know, I had a lengthy, difficult process that didn't go at all like I intended it to. It took me an entire extra year just to get accepted and get funding to school. And so I had all of these intrusive thoughts as I was starting my program. Thoughts like, what if I'm not good enough to succeed as a composer? What if I can't be successful in higher education? So this entire program, this entire recital is kind of about the journey from darkness to light. And so since this is the beginning of the program, this is definitely the dark piece. And it's all about how these intrusive thoughts can fester and turn into this dark, sinking depression. One of the things I try to do as I start any piece is determine what does my instrumentation do well and what does my instrumentation do differently than other ensembles. And one of the challenges of this group of instruments is they sound pretty similar to each other, especially in particular ranges. But I thought that I could make this a feature, not a bug, that I could have these instruments work in tandem with each other, and I could kind of highlight the subtle differences in color. And so this is actually really important in this intrusive thought section. So following this haunting oboe solo, we get the first instances of these little thoughts. They start pretty brief, unhurried, lots of silence in between, making you feel as if you're alone with your thoughts. And then these rhythmic strands get longer and longer. They're never really predictable. I wrote this rhythm so that it doesn't repeat at any periodic rate. It doesn't really suggest any meter or time signature. Even though it's notated in 4/4, when you listen to it, it doesn't really feel like it's in any particular meter. And then I bring in the oboe at the same pitch as the clarinet, slowly, right? It comes in with lots of silence in between, one note at a time, and then those notes happen more frequently until eventually we're playing these groups of quarters and eighths together. And finally, as we move along in this movement, this stream of notes breaks off into two separate branches. And we get these really disparate registral shifts, lots of chromatic activity. And I can't wait for you to hear the rest of this at my recital on Saturday.